Hi everyone, welcome back to Rosemaling with Art of Lise. I hope this finds you all well out there. All right, it's been a while since I've done a video where I'm just painting for the sake of painting. So I'm going to do a little canvas today, and I'm going to use some of the paints that I have sitting here. Most of them are Joe Sonia paints, some are folk art paint, which are these, all right. Folk Art Multi-Surface. Joe Sonia is these. Okay. So if you're new here, I do a Norwegian folk art called Rosemaling. It's a decorative art form that goes back to the 1600s. I like to say I don't go back to the 1600s, but depending on the day, you never know how you feel. Anyway, if you're new here, please, if you like the video, take a moment and subscribe. And if you're not new here, well, welcome back. All right, let's just see what I'm going to start today. All right, I have my wet palette here with just an arrangement of paint, and I'm going to go ahead and start with, let's just put some lines in. You know, do I know what I'm going to paint today? No, I have no idea. But I realized when I was thinking earlier and I was over analyzing what to paint, going, oh, I don't know. What should I paint today? You know, what should I do? And then I realized sometimes it's just nice to just let the paint flow. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm working on an 8x10 canvas, a black canvas that I bought at Michael's, and I'm just working with, I think this is a Zen Royal Langnickel, and it's obviously a very long brush. All right, I have to see, this is Z4ST, and I am using a dry brush technique, so I'm not adding any medium to my paint. My paint is just here on my palette, on my two palettes here. You know why we go for some gold here. We'll add some fun little fall colors. Anyway, I'm doing a dry brush technique, so it means that I'm not adding any medium to it. So I am literally pushing down on my brush and taking the pressure off my brush to get this heavy load of paint. And then when I release my brush, I let some of the background, the black canvas, come through, and it gives this nice fading away effect. All right, let's see what other colors. So obviously I'm sticking to reds, yellows, white here. I guess we can add a little vermilion. I did add gold in there. So I just am going with what is on my palette right now. I mean, we could add some blues. Oh, we could. I don't know if that will work perfectly. I do have a paper towel here. I'm just going to wipe off, so that way I have a clean brush. Well, maybe we can add some green. Now, when you're working with acrylic paint, I'm going to add some gold down on this end here. When you're working with acrylic paint, the paint dries darker than when you initially put it on. So what's going to happen, we'll see if this works. I'm going to put some little brighter blue here. That might be fun. What ends up happening is sometimes you have to come back with your acrylic paint and add a little more color to it. You almost have to overstroke it a little bit, so that way the color becomes a little more true. Okay, so this is a really fast version of Rosemaling. Typically when you're doing Rosemaling, and this is the Telemark Style I'm doing, here's Hallingdal, well, you can see it's much more layered and it has more detail to it, I will detail this. This is a very fast version that I am doing today, and it's really kind of a fun little demonstration of what you can do with it. So I have my center C stroke. You start with C's, so you can see my C's all flowing. And then I have an S stroke. Those are your two main strokes in Rosemaling. Well, typically what happens when I have an opening like this, and it's based on flowers, so it's flower shapes. They're fantasy flowers, but flowers to say the least. This would be your root of your design, and then I'm going to grow off of it. So I'm going to put a nice little flower that's going to come out of here. I'm going to go ahead and use some of the colors that I used in the main portion here, and I'm just dipping as I go. I mean, I have it over here. I'm literally just dipping in, coming out. And let's add a little bit of red and gold coming up here. And I'm working with a dirty brush. I don't mind having a little mix of the paints because it adds interest to it. And this will all come together with some detail. So this flower is coming off this way, and maybe I need a little flower down here at the base. So let's turn it. Notice I keep turning my piece, and I keep turning it so I can pull the brush stroke towards me. So it's easier to pull the brush towards you than it is to pull a brush away from you. I'm just going to add a couple little dots of color. I mean, literally, this is just a very quick, almost like a sketching with paint. All right, so I'm not getting too fussy here. I'm just giving some fun to it. All right, so this is a basic design. I am going to take my brush, just kind of swoosh it in my water here. Okay, put that aside. I'm going to wipe this out, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my liner brush here. So I'm done with this palette. Again, I've been working with some other projects, so I have had this paint sitting here, so I'm literally just using the paint I have around. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this one, this palette, because I have this nice titanium white, and this is actually with Folk Art, not Joe Sonia. Typically I use Joe Sonia, but I have this ready because I've been doing ornaments here, and like this guy, I'm going to have to come and detail this very shortly, so I have the paint ready. How's that for a teaser for another video? All right, so we'll come back to that another time, but let's go ahead and give this guy some detail. Okay, so this is a premium 10/0 10 knot. I don't know, wait, can we get it? Oh, maybe I'll put it in the things below. It's a King Art original gold, 93.75. Okay, it's a very fine liner, and we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to start to detail here. And the detailing, when you detail in Rosemaling, this is what pulls it all together. Now, those who have been with me for a while and have watched my videos, you know I've been painting for a very long time. So what you're watching right now as I detail is many, many years of practice. But I am starting on the tip and pushing down. I use pressure to pull my strokes out. Let's turn this way here. And again, notice I am pulling towards me. And I'm doing a series of C's and S's and little teardrops. Now, I don't worry so much about following exactly my strokes underneath, especially in Telemark. I'll let my detail flow a little bit. It's kind of like when you look in your garden and you see all the lovely produce growing up, and you see all the tendrils of coming off your tomato plants or whatever you have growing, your sunflowers, and you get all these little shoots coming out. This is kind of the idea with Rosemaling. It's all a bunch of little shoots. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this down. And again, I'm pulling my strokes towards me. Notice I am using my opposing arm as a brace. I am holding my brush back about a third of the way. I'm holding them over by where the numbers are on the brush. This way I have plenty of room to move. Again, just watch as I keep moving my canvas so that I can pull the brush towards me. Now, most of the time when you do Rosemaling, and those who Rosemal know, this is not your normal speed. It takes a little bit longer with this. Typically, we're working on wood. So your wood, you have to sand, base coat, antique, whatever preparations you need to do. Again, this is a canvas that's already been prepped, so it's ready to go. And I like to use these. One, they're wonderful demonstration. They are a wonderful art form to take Rosemaling and work on canvas. Now, I've done much larger pieces and they will take me longer to paint. I'll plan them out more, especially if I do commission work, which I do a lot of. But again, these make great demonstration pieces. They're really a lot of fun. Now, I am one of many Rosemalers who do teach. You can find classes if you're interested in learning this art form. Well, you can find classes on my social media, which are listed down in the notes below. Or you can go to rosemalingclasses.com. Again, I'll have them in the notes below. Rosemaling traditionally is an oil art form. I'm working in acrylics, as you know. I actually switched to acrylics when I started having my children because I just didn't want the odor. So I said that a little funny, odor. There we go. All right, sometimes I'll use my background color to make shapes with it. Okay. Well, this is fun. I like this one. I like the color. And again, everything is coming down to our root here, which I'll go ahead and give a little bit more of a definition with. Okay, we're gonna finish these up. I like the colors here. These are fun. All right, let's see what else we can do. Well, I hope that you've all kind of enjoyed spending some time with me this evening, this morning, whenever you're watching. Enjoying seeing some happy little C strokes, happy little brush strokes. Yeah, a little homage to Bob Ross there. It's not quite happy little trees, but it is happy little C strokes, so we like that. A little bit more to do here. Again, if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please feel free to subscribe. Come check me out. I'm getting back into doing videos again. I kind of had to take a little break, mental break, for reasons beyond my control. Yeah, I kind of talked about that in my last video, so I won't rehash that right now. Yes, some prayers my way as I deal with copyright issues, but story for another day. Anyway, so one of the things as you play with your brush, and again, this is much faster than what normally gets done, but look at that. Happy little C strokes, happy little S strokes. Let me see if I can back it up a little bit. All right, what do you think? I think this is fun. But you know what? Make sure anything that you do, make sure you sign it. okay? Because that's what we'll do. Make sure and sign it, give it a date, put it on the back. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you enjoyed some time in my studio. Please remember, it's just paint. Check out some of my other videos, and I look forward to seeing you again. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good.